Hello folks, and welcome to GadgetGirlTX. And I wanted to do a plan with me on converting my Laurel Denise Mini Vertical planner into my budget planner. So I've been doing this for a few months now, and I'm really liking the layout. It's working for my brain. And so I'm going to share with you what I did and how I convert this vertical planner into a budget planner. So let me give you, we'll take a go at it here and you can see what we do. So first of all, this is a Laurel Denise. This is a mini. So their mini planner is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7 by 10, including the coil, 9 by 7 if you're looking at just the paper size on that. This is a academic year, so this one started in July. I tried it for different things. I tried it as a fitness planner. I tried it for some journaling. I tried it for just as a daily planner, and it didn't process for me the way I needed it to, but I really like the layout. So what I'm trying to do is I've been for the month of October, November, and December of this year, for the last 3 months, I've used it as a budget planner, and moving into the new year, that's what we're going to set this up for as well. So I have some of my Laurel Denise washies here, and I have some budget sticker books from the Happy Planner, and I'm going to take you through what I do and how I set this up to function for me. So there's a few things I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it up and modify it a little bit and make some changes to it, and I'll talk you through what I'm doing on those. So the first thing that I do is I come in and I remove the dates here at the top. So the easiest way to do that is I just take it a couple pages at a time, and I put a little support in behind it like this, and I'm going to come in with a craft knife, and I'm just going to cut this out. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the header off of the flip pages. So in the Laurel Denise planner, what you have is the monthly on the far right hand side, and then you have your weekly flips here in the middle. So these are your weekly pages that turn here in the middle, so you're able to set those up. And what I'm doing is I am taking those weekly dates off of mine and all the way through to the last page. So when you take it off the last page, it just takes off the habit tracker heading on it there. So I'm going to come in and do that. Now these will stay here because they are actually part of the layout. It's actually on this first calendar page, but I'll show you what I do to cover those up and change that as well. So just another cut here. And you can use scissors if you don't have a craft knife, whatever you need to do on that makes it work for you. So, and then I just pop a pair of scissors in between the coil here and give that a snip, and that lifts right off. And instead of relining this page, I'm going to slide my scissors in there. And it's just a nice, simple cut. Not a big deal. Free that top piece off. Okay. So that's off, and those pages are ready to flip and do what I need them to. So I'm going to come over in here, and I'm going to add some decorative washi to that, and just kind of adjust how this looks here. All right, so I'm going to take this one And I'm gonna run a little bit of whiteout tape over that real quick. So depending on how thick or opaque, depending on the opacity of your washi tape, will depend on whether or not you need to white those out. I prefer to do it just so that they're not showing through. It's just a personal preference. And I'm going to line that up with the edge. So here's a trick. If you're having a hard time seeing where the edge of your paper is, just put a darker color sheet behind it. So now I can see very clearly where the edge of that is, and I can line my washi tape up with that. All right. I'm going to put this down right here. Just like that. Come in with my craft blade and take that off. And then I'm going to run the same washi tape down the other side here. Put my paper underneath so I can see the edge. All right. All right. So that's a good start on that. Okay, so that just covers up some of those headers for me. Not a big deal. You can also use washi tape to edge your insides here if you want to as well. But these are going to be my different budget categories on each of these. And this acts a little bit like a ledger where I can put credits and debits and stuff in here. And I'm able to keep track of my big picture bills for the month and due dates on this side. And then I can track individual categories here. And then here on the back side, I keep a place where I track income. And then I do a budget review down over here, like how did it go? What needs to change for next month? That kind of thing. And then here on my trackers, I have some things I specifically track. So what we're going to do is just open up here real quick. And I have some payday stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those for January. Okay. All right, so I have my 2 paydays marked. I'm just going to take a pen and I'm going to come in and I'm going to put my budget categories in. So you can use mini boxes in here. If you want to put a little box or something on here, you can just go in and write. You can use letterings. You can set up a code if you want to code your categories, whatever you want to do. So here's my categories that I'm going to come in and mark. So I have groceries, and eating out. And then I have clothes and personal care. So this is haircuts, things like that. Dry cleaning, all of those kind of things fit in there. And then I have vehicles. So these are car payments, insurance, gas, fuel, all of those kind of things. If we need new tires, maintenance work done, oil changes, all of those are going to go here in this column. And then we will have let's do utilities and TV. So this is gas, electric, satellite, cell phones, those kind of things. We don't use landlines, and so our cell phones go under our utility bill for that. And then we will have let's do household. And animals. So this is feed, vet bills, leashes, leads, bedding, whatever we need will come out of that one. And then we'll do hobbies and subscriptions. So this is not magazine subscriptions. This would be like subscription boxes that we have come that are related to our hobbies that we have going. I don't think we have any magazine subscriptions. So, and then we're going to do memberships. So this would be if you had a gym membership, we have range memberships, we have some things like that that we keep up with. So we have memberships. Along with that, gifts and medical. Actually, I'm going to do gifts and I'm going to do donations. So we're really involved in our community and we participate in lots of different activities. We do quite a few donations a month to different things that are going on, like 4-H and project graduation and things like that. And so that's just a way to track of how much we're donating to things like that, to our church, different ministries and missionaries that we're involved with. So that just helps us kind of know what we're spending and what we're giving in those areas. And then I'm going to skip over here. I like to leave a blank one or some extra space every once in a while, just because sometimes you need that little extra space. So every once in a while you'll see me skip something, and it's just because something else may come up later and I want that extra space in there for it. So we're going to go over here. We're going to do medical. So those are like co-pays and prescriptions, things like that. And we're going to do savings. Okay. And then we're going to get into credit cards. So in this, I'm mostly just going to be tracking payments on credit cards, because the expenses on the credit card, the things that are being charged to the credit card, actually fit in these other areas. So if I put a copay on my credit card, I'm not logging that over here. That's going to go under medical expenses. So under credit cards are actually going to be payments and balances and things like along that line over here, or interest on credit cards, or whatever it is that's a credit card specific cost. Loans. So these would be any personal loans outside of car loans, housing, and that kind of thing. And then every once in a while we'll put something on ForPay. Not very often. We usually, if we do, like, we pay it off at the second payment. We don't, rarely do we take something all the way out on ForPay. Okay, so those are all those categories. So that still gives me a little extra space. So before I get all the way to the end, I have these extra pages here. So what I do on these extra pages is I come back in with my scissors, and I just come in between the coils here, and I'm going to snip each of these. Make make sure I got all the way through that one. I don't know if I got the bottom sheet. So I'm taking out 2 sheets here. So I just need to make sure that I'm clipping both pieces of paper as I come underneath. So if you're a spreadsheet person or used to accounting and ledgers, this is going to feel very familiar to you because this sets it up in that rows and columns spreadsheet format. So it's kind of a way of carrying your spreadsheet with you without having to have your computer. So I just slide these pages out because they're trimmed and ready to go, and they're still usable. I just add them to the back. So here behind the notes section, I have extra pages that I have taken out, and I just pop them right back in. So if something comes up and I need to add a page, I can. Otherwise, I will end up with several extra pages come the end of the year. I can take them out, move them to another book, get rid of them, use them for notes, or I can add them to another Laurel Denise book if I need to. So we come back to January. So that trims me down. That gives me my categories, still gives me some extra space every once in a while to add a few things if something else comes up or something new needs to be added to this. Then here in the back, I track no spend days. So I've been trying to spend less, and by that I will put stuff in my cart and wait for 4 or 5 days or even 7 days and go back and look at it and decide if I still want it or if I still need it. Most of the things that we need, like toilet paper or cleaning supplies and that kind of stuff, we already have set up on subscription services that get delivered. So these would be extra things that we're spending on, something that just looks interesting or that we're thinking about on those. So all I'm doing here is tracking days we don't spend money or days we do, depending on how you look at that. Bill payments on days I pay bills. That also helps me see in the big picture where things are fitting out in my month. So if I have a big cluster of days I pay bills, then that kind of shows up, and that helps me know how to budget the next month as I go through that. Then I check balances on our account, and I'll go back in after this video and I'll write which account balances that I'm coming in to look at. And then I also just kind of do a budget check-in. So how are we doing? You know, are we spending too much in this area? Do we need to move some money into savings because we haven't spent money in a certain area? Things like that. And so that kind of comes in on that. So this is my just tracking what's happening, and it kind of gives me an overall picture with my monthly calendar of this is my month and this is what's going on during that month, where this is really specific that's happening category by category on that. Grab this gold foil box. So one of the things I'm wanting to save for next year is I want to go to a planner conference. Just something for me, something I think I will enjoy. I think I'll enjoy the networking and getting to know people. So that's one of my things I'm wanting to save for this next year. But having never been, I don't really know how much to save. So if you've been to a conference and you have an estimate of what you think I should save, let me know. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to put income. So what I'll do on here is I'll just write where it comes from and how much it is. So if it's our regular paychecks, or if it's end of year bonuses or retention bonuses, mid-year stuff, we'll get all of that figured out and written in there. I'm going to come in here. Haven't decided yet where I'm going to go. There's a few of them out there. I was thinking Go Wild or Chicago Planner Conference, depending on when during the year they fall. I am an administrator in education, so it can be difficult to sometimes get away. So depending on where they fall will just depend on what that looks like for me and if I'll be able to get away. So I'm going to come in with some more washi, and I'm going to add a decorative strip in. So what I'll do here is, as I save money or at the end of the month, I'll write how much money I've got set aside for the planner conference. And of course, depending on how much money I'm able to save may depend on where I go and what I get to do. So really just, I do so much traveling for work. I'd kind of like to travel and do something just for me, just because I want to do it. So that's what I'm looking at. That was my idea, would be to treat myself to a planner conference this year. So I'm just going to add a couple strips of decorative washi in here. And so I intentionally keep my income and some of those savings boxes underneath of this. So when I'm opening it up, I'm not looking at that right away. Any other goals or things that we're saving up for, I'll have space over here. My husband and I are going to sit down here in the next few weeks, and we're going to talk about things we want to do in 2025 and changes that we might want to make. And once we sit down and we talk about our goals and we decide what we want to do. Sorry, that little light keeps coming on and off. I think I'm touching it accidentally and it's going blinking around on me. Anyway, once we sit down and we have a chance to visit and talk through things and plan, then I'll write some of those goals in as well. And I may make pretty little boxes with them. And then here at the end of the month, I do an overall check-in. And so I'll come through our different categories and kind of put how we did, if we were on budget, over budget, under budget for what's going on. You have plenty of space in here. You could come in and write what your budget is for the month or what the balance is if you're using an envelope system. Or whatever you have going, whatever your method is for that, you could come in, put your starting balance, and then you could actually keep a running ledger on those, however you want to do it. But I really just like this format. Helps me process, helps my brain move through what's going on, gives me a place to track things. It's all in one place. By taking those extra pages out, it's not very cumbersome or thick going through the whole process. I just paperclip my way in. I'll move the paperclip back to December because I still have to finish December. We're only partway through, but just wanted to give you an idea and get you set up. So this is just a different way of using the Laurel Denise Mini Vertical Planner. And again, I went through and I did set up my budget in here. I have my budget categories. I have my month at a glance. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll transfer in dates that I have bills due or things that I know that are coming up. I'll get those put in there. And then I do have my tracker for things I have going on. I'll be able to add some things over here. I'll probably put our goals and plans in this section right here. So when this is flipped this way, I'll have a place here to do that. And then my monthly outcome of my monthly review will go over here in this far column. I don't look at it every single day. I may come in once or twice a week. It is one of the reasons that I put my budget in its own planner because I didn't need to see it every single day. Now I might check bank balances every single day. That's kind of a habit I've gotten into, just making sure that our accounts are secure, making sure nobody's making charges in them that they shouldn't be, And so I would try to check those every day or really close to it, which is one of the reasons I put them here in the tracker. But I don't pay bills every day. I don't check in and evaluate our entire budget every single day. I might do that once a week. And so that's just kind of how I have that set up. But if there's something going on or we're wanting to do something that we normally wouldn't do, I might go in and do a budget review to see where we're at and decide whether or not we can do other things later on. But there you go. This is the Laurel Denise Academic Year Mini Vertical Planner for 24-25, and I have converted it into a budget planning and tracking system. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and follow me in particular on social media with Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all at GadgetGirlTX. And we are also in the process of setting up our web page as well, which will be GadgetGirlTX.com. We'll have blogs and videos and downloads and stuff on there. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.